Israel.
Amir from
Hey, how's it going?
They still haven't made a better movie.
Hello,
I don't know.
Amir from Israel.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I was wondering, I'm in college to be a teacher, and I was wondering if you guys have any tips, any stories about your favorite teachers.
Favorite teachers?
Favorite teachers, yeah.
Yeah,
Bad one.
I know Frank is teaching, but he's not here.
Yeah, he's like world-class college professor.
Yeah, he's doing Indiana Jones shit.
Yeah, he's
right
like
now.
teacher of the world.
Yeah, he's got the cup of Christ.
He
in
might
his
go on
hand.
to be one of the most
Belongs in a
influential
museum,
teachers of all
like
time.
teaching.
He's been up there teaching in Canada. He's been down here teaching in Mexico.
Yeah, he teaches us
All
in
over,
fact.
international teacher.
Content teacher.
I'm gonna say favorite teachers.
Meg's leaving, everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
Meg.
bye, Meg.
If the show goes to shit, now you know.
Everyone
Now
think
you
about
know.
a Meg.
Goodbye, Meg. I would say I had a 6th grade teacher that had us make so much shit. It was like insane and it drove me crazy. Where it was like, okay, we're learning about mummies. Go make a mummy sarcophagus. How do I even do that? Go make it. It was a lot of projects where you just like built or had to make shit and get crafty, which drove me crazy. I'm not crafty. I hate it. I don't want to make stuff. But I remember at the end of that year, he said, I had you make all this stuff because you're going to hit junior high and it's not going to be half as bad as this.
He prepared you.
Yeah, and sure enough, it wasn't. It was like not half the pain in the ass that class was. So I guess that worked. But at the same time, like what? I don't know. I guess that's not really a
We
favorite
made it
story.
hard on purpose, not really needed.
I can learn from their mistakes.
What are you going to be a teacher of? What do you want to teach?
English, actually.
English,
cool.
okay.
Oh, dude, that's Frank's territory.
To like
Shit.
to kids
Yeah.
or
You guys
like
have to compete.
high school, middle school, what?
At first, they let you teach elementary school kids, and hopefully, in a few years, I can teach high school.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I liked my English teachers in high school. They were all pretty cool.
Yeah, I had some cooler, younger English
Yeah, me
teachers in
too.
high school, and that helped out. But teachers don't really stick out like the good teachers. There was a few. There was my photo teacher, Mr. Bible. There was a digital
Mr.
art.
Bible?
Mr. Bible was his name.
Hell yeah.
Bible man.
He took photos of like Kiss and all these rock groups in the 70s.
Whoa.
And he would show every new class he got. Like first day of class, it was just a slideshow of like, here's where I took pictures of Jimmy Page, Robert Plant. Just yeah, I
And the
was
kids
there.
are like, who are these people?
Yeah, right. But Mr. Bible was like,
Take a picture of Snoop Dogg.
he was fucking proud of being on tour with the Dead in '73, man. And that was kind of cool. And
Mr. Bible did weed.
yeah. I mean, he knew what was going on in the back developer room with the doors closed. You know, timer, can't let the lights on for 10 minutes.
We had a photography teacher who got fired from our high school because
I was just about to
some
bring it
students
up.
found some nude photos of him that
Oh,
he was
no.
developing in the
Wow.
dark
Oh,
room.
Yeah, that's what he
no.
was
Wait, he was
developing.
developing nude photos of himself?
Himself.
no.
Yeah. And
Don't do that.
And we
No.
should and we shouldn't say his name,
No,
but his
I
name
won't.
is like an object or is like a
Like a Bible?
Mr. Couch?
no, well, it's similar to that, but it cracks me up. That must have been an inspiration to why we do that in Mega64 videos all the time, like a guy named Raymond Couch or something. Like it is that, and it cracked me up, and I think that must have been what stuck in my head.
It was. They were pure in artistic merit. They weren't like sexual things.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
You know, like
Crossing the
artists
line.
draw nudes of.
Yeah.
They draw the human form. He was photographing like naked people himself. I think there may have even been like nude models, but he was using the darkroom on-off hours to develop these photos.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have left the negatives laying
But then
around.
students
Maybe
found
he
them.
wanted the kids to find him. Maybe that was his thing. though.
No. I mean, honestly,
never
I
know.
felt kind of bad for him because he got fired. But it was like, well, he was just like trying to be an artist in his off time and a teacher to pay the bills.
That'll teach him.
You can't be an artist with your dick out. When
So
you're
don't develop nudes at school. I had this teacher in 7th grade. He was a history and literature teacher, and he read us The Giver.
Ah.
He made us all read The Giver, and sometimes
Yeah.
the teacher just reads the book out, and you follow along with your book. And at one point in the book, he like paused and he started crying.
No.
He started like weeping at a point in that book that was really sad.
Oh,
and there was one student in the class that like started making fun of him.
Yeah,
he's
you
like,
cried. I
oh, come
laughed.
on.
he was like,
Oh, don't be an asshole.
"Yo, Mr. Andy, why are you crying?"
Oh, fuck.
And he got so pissed off. He was like,
You wouldn't cry if you were in a situation like this.
I think there's a point in that book where there's twins. It's like a dystopian society, and they decide which twin is superior.
Yeah.
And then they like euthanize the other twin baby, and then like dispose of it by putting it in a box and putting it down a garbage chute. He's like,
They take a child, they murder it, they put it in a shoebox and throw it out with the garbage. That wouldn't make you cry. It was so
Yeah.
fucking uncomfortable. Every
Just
student was
fucking
just like,
went in on him.
"Oh shit!" So
yeah.
We didn't have the
Wow.
baggage that we have
he was
now.
also a Vietnam vet.
That's what I was gonna
Okay.
say. I had a couple.
There you go.
I had a couple teachers that were Vietnam vets, and in high school with almost no baggage, you don't realize the baggage a 60 or 50-year-old man has that's been to war.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
And I crossed the line a couple times where I giggled at some inappropriate shit that the guy was having like a flashback or like a breakdown.
My favorite teacher in all of my years of school was my history teacher in junior high, and he was a veteran.
Yeah.
And he lost use of his legs in the war. Like,
Really?
yeah. He had sustained an injury, whatever. So yeah, he
Used a wheelchair?
yeah, you wheelchair and crutches. You know, he got around on crutches and stuff like that. And he was the epitome. I'm gonna make him sound bad, but this was great. He was the kind of guy that would talk like that. All right, hey, you guys know who so and so is? What, you don't? Yeah, you're not listening. Okay, but he
Were you
was
taught by the kid from Brooklyn?
he really was like that.
like Bertram
and at
from
first,
Crank
and at first, he would talk like that. And at first, it was, oh God, this is awful. And a lot of people hated him throughout the entirety of when I went there. But I grew to love it because that's how I learned stuff. He was like, hey, all right, tell me what's the golden rule. You tell me over there. Be kind unto others. I don't want to hear from this guy anymore. What's the real golden rule? I'll tell you what it is. He who has the gold makes the rule. That's what it is. I enjoyed the shit out of his class.
yeah.
But one
Entertaining.
day, someone threw something in class,
Uh-oh.
and he had like a PTSD,
Flashback.
he like ducked under the desk.
No.
And these kids were making fun of him so bad after that, and I was just like, you fucking assholes. Like,
That's
same
too
thing.
far.
fucked up.
and then from that point on, I like wanted to be friends with that teacher,
There was,
and I like bonded with
when
that
I
guy.
was in first grade, I went to a different school, and at that school, one of the 8th grade teachers, I was 6 years old, but there was a story that became legendary in the school that one of the 8th grade teachers, who was a Vietnam vet, was going to his car after school one day, and some students said, "What's up?" And they threw a soda can at him.
Oh
No.
man.
And he thought it was he had a flashback, and he like
fucking mortar shell.
he ducked and like rolled underneath his truck and was like hanging out underneath there. And all the students were like making fun of for the rest of the year.
That's fucked up.
That's so fucked up.
And I think like the school had to like issue a statement about it or something.
Children are the most evil and
Yeah, kids
cruel.
suck.
Absolutely.
Just the cruelty of children, man.
I want to.
But they didn't know.
yeah.
I'm remembering more stuff about the teacher that I brought up, the history teacher. What was funny was that he talked about in one class, they were going to do parent teacher conferences or something. And there was one day he came in, all right, everyone here knows you're going to have parent teacher conferences coming up. And let me tell you, I know you guys don't like when we do them. I don't like doing them. And because here's what it is. Every one of them is going to be the same thing. So how's he doing? How's she doing? You know how you're doing. Why aren't they talking to you about this shit? If you saw, you're going to see it on their report card. You know, whatever. He said something like that. And it's so funny because like that, I think that weekend, I went shopping with my parents. I think they took me to some store to buy clothes for school or something.
Back to school.
And we were in the middle of this department store, and that guy was in the store. That teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ended up he was in like his electronic cart or whatever, and he rolled up, and my parents said something to him. Oh, hey, you're Rocco's teacher. Yeah, that's me. And they're like, oh wow, hey, good to see you. He says so many good things about you. Oh, thank you very much, thank you. And then they were like, so how's he doing?
Uh-oh.
And then he looked right at me. he knows how well he's doing. He's doing just fine. And then and that cracked
you
me
the
up.
eye.
He just looked right at me like he just did that routine
Yeah.
the other day. But anyway, he was a great teacher. I really, really, that was one of the best classes I ever took.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, that was a good call. Thanks, Amir.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
good luck, man. I hope we gave you some insight.
Thank you.
And don't cry in front of your students.
Yeah, no weakness.
I won't. I'll try.
Good. All right.
Excellent.
Just wanted to say one last